I'm sure a lot of us could relate to the title this day and age. I'm sure a lot of us as young people can relate to feeling behind, feeling like you made a mistake, feeling like you aren't where you could have been or should be right now in your phase of life. Like, I'm 22 and I feel like I'm very behind. Like, I feel like I woke up 2 months ago and everybody's been alive for 50 years. Now I'm like figuring things out, if you understand what I mean. When I was younger, about 8, 9 years old,
I said, I'm gonna be a millionaire when I grow up.
I really believed that it would just click one day, everything would come together, and I would achieve my goal of being successful, have a lot of money, and living the stress-free lifestyle that I always wanted, you know? Some people just love the work. I don't like the work, but feeling behind really hurts. As I say, I'm 22 years old. I feel like I could have achieved a lot more. I feel like all these mistakes that I made were very detrimental. When I compare myself to people on social media, people who are maybe half my age, 14, 16, 18 self, have the things I want, the success that I would like for myself, being in a place that I haven't reached yet, it feels like I'm behind. Like, they figured out something that I have yet to figure out. Like, we're in a race and they're on the second leg and I'm still putting on my shoes. Like, there's a book that I'm supposed to read, I didn't figure it out. But especially being on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, seeing people half your age with 10 times your success, having the amount of money that I guess you feel like you could never achieve, or having money that you just have in your dreams, you only see in your dreams, the amount is very demotivating, honestly. And then I think about it, like, when I was that age, what was he doing? This nigga was like, when I was that age, I was so foolish. Like, I didn't understand how life worked. Even amongst my peers, my friends, they're working, they have jobs, you know, they're starting their careers, they're going up the ladder. Not making money was something I was very insecure about, you know. Not having the success that I wanted, not being in a place that I wanted to be, used to make me very insecure. Like, I hate asking for help. I just absolutely hate asking for help. Like, to me, I wish I was in a place that I could help people and not need to help myself. Like, I had the money, I had the success, I had the resources, I had the network. I guess I still asking for help, you have a network, but I had the resources, I had the money to be able to do everything on my own and still help other people, you know. Be that guy. I'm not that guy right now. At least I still can be, and I still plan to be, but I'm not that guy right now. That's reality, and it's very sad, you know. You sit down, think about your life, think about all the time you've wasted, all the opportunities you've thrown away, and you just, at least me, I really got very upset at my past self. Like, that guy was my worst enemy. Whew, I had a lot of frustration against my past self, because it's like, if I was smarter, if I cared more, if I woke up, I feel like I was sleeping. If I woke up, I'll be where these people are. I'll have the money that I have, I'll have the life I have. And it's up until recently, I'll always say the crash, you know, that made me have a lot of perspective shifts. A little before though, but I can't blame younger me. He had cared about different things back then. It's not saying he was wrong, you know. Back then, I just like sports, I like hanging out with my friends, I want to enjoy life in the moment. And thinking about it, I'm really jealous of how he was, you know, how happy I just used to be before I really cared about all the things I didn't have. Like, I was so content with what I had. I didn't have the kind of success that me right now is envious of other 16-year-olds, but back then I didn't care. We used to go play basketball, have a good time, hang out with my friends, go to school, drum corps, stuff like that. I used to just enjoy my life, and I'm kind of envious about that, you know, how happy I was when things were so simple. But I said all that to say this, that you have to forgive yourself. First of all, if you're angry about the time you've wasted, the mistakes you made, opportunities you missed, you have to understand you're never getting those back, unless there's a time machine that I don't know of. I'm gonna hop in that I'm gonna go back to the future. What's it, the Durango? I can't remember the name of the car, but I'm gonna hop in it, whip it straight back to the future, back to the past. I'll go straight back to like 15 and I'll fix this. I think that's another thing. Even if you could go back in the past and change things, you don't know if it'll be better. You think it'll be better, but you have to understand you don't know anything, really. You don't know how things would be if you did differently. You don't know how your decisions, how they really impacted your life. You don't know. So the first step is to forgive yourself. They did the best that they knew how to do. Believe that, you know. What you cared about back then dictated your decisions. You cared about something else now. So of course you're gonna be regretful about that, but in the past you didn't care. So you don't have those regrets. Secondly, what you have to understand is that you now have the power to change. Because you want things to be different, you can make things different because you're alive still. Once you have life, things can change forever. Only time things cannot change is when you're dead, because it's done. Your story's done. Book's closed. Nothing else can change. Since you have life, things can change. I don't know about your situation specifically. Some people have it a lot harder than others. Some people have a lot more resources or opportunities than others. But we all have the opportunity to change, given enough work. I'm not saying it'll be easy. Some people will have it easier, of course. Some people will have their lucky break faster. We all have an opportunity to try to change. I'm not saying it'll work, but what you're doing right now isn't working for sure, and you're not happy. So there's a 100% chance of you being unhappy right now, and a 50% chance of it working out. I'll take the 50% chance. Now that you've forgiven yourself and you've understood that you can make a change today, you have to make a plan based on what you want right now. Say you're working a dead-end job, you don't really like your career, you want to make a change. Say what job you want, think about how you get it. Say you want to be an electrician, so you have to see what kind of apprenticeship or mentorship or after work classes you can do, what kind of opportunities you can get to try to transition your life into electricianship or electricianhood, into being an electrician. I don't know what I was trying to say, like it's an assassin, but make a detailed plan, step-by-step ways. It's gonna be hard. You're gonna have to put in extra hours if you have to go back to school, or you're gonna have to work another job, become an intern, work those extra hours without getting paid. Get paid less by entering into your apprenticeship, but bad times don't last always, and you're going where you want to go. And in the end, you'll be happier because you made the change. That's for sure. Hopefully this inspired you as it inspired me, because I had to make a plan. I didn't like where my life was going, and I decided I wanted to change. And it's not hopeless. There's always hope. Things might look hopeless, and they might be very difficult, very hard. You might have to fight against your habits, your environment, people, yourself, your inner demons, man. But it's possible. Don't ever lose faith in yourself. Change is always possible. Make a plan, execute, believe in yourself, and things can change. I really feel like that one Damian Lillard poster. Real talk, like all these years in the league, and I've done nothing really. No accolades, no trophies. Dang out. Like when I really think about it, like what was I out here doing? Just a lot of cardio. A lot of fitness, but also that's me looking at it in a skewed lens, you know. This is me comparing myself to other people's lives, and you have to understand also that you're in this race by yourself. It's not even a race really, because you're in no rush. Life is the longest thing you'll do. Facts. Life is actually the longest thing you'll do. So there's no rush. I know you'd want to be somewhere right now because you can see things being better, but this isn't a race against anybody. It's like more like a marathon. It's you just running and seeing how far you can go, seeing what you can accomplish, seeing how much rocks you can kick up the street. If people used to do that, I used to do that, really. This is all you. Once you're doing better than you were yesterday, you are making progress. Even though you might not see the progress, you are making progress. And for that, you should be proud. You should be proud that you're here still trying. Found this video, or you're finding other videos, you're reading books, and you're trying to do better. You should be proud of yourself for that fact and that fact alone, that you want to make a change. Comparison is really the thief of joy. Because if you wasn't comparing yourself or your life to anybody else, would you really feel like you were so behind? Like you would only think you're behind if you think someone's in first place. You're only behind because you feel like someone else is winning and you're losing. Life likes to make us feel like you're winning and losing, but we all have our own journey. And how are you losing if you're only in this race by yourself? Of course you could do things better. You have bad days, you have off days, but you seen this guy on Instagram just has nothing to do with your life, really and truly. What he's doing, what he's gone through, what he had to work for, the opportunities he got, you don't have those opportunities. You don't have his parents, you don't have his life. So it's unfair to you to try to compare yourself to something that you really don't have. If you had the same life, you somehow got poorer than him, even though you had the same exact start, the same exact parents, the same exact resources, you met the same people, you saw the same videos, you were touched by the same revelations in life. Then you could say, oh, I'm behind or I'm failing. But you are the only one who ever lived your life. Real talk. How are you failing compared to yourself? There's no loser. It's only a journey. It's not a race. There you go. I'll say it's a marathon. It's not a race. It's a journey. Peace. Love.